Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So we got a video here of Gary Gensler just being like torn apart like a rag doll. It was great. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Coinbase might be moving to the UK. You just can't operate in the States. It's just too difficult, right? And there's going to be new laws in the UK, which they're talking about. This is great stuff, people. Good. UK wants to be like the crypto hub of the world. That's good news. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson puts out a tweet, gives a big FU to somebody. I think we should pay attention to that. So Cardano as well, Q1 report by Messari. Cardano is flourishing. Great stuff. Here's the video of Gensler being torn apart. Let's check it out.
Chair Gensler, I have a lot of questions in a limited amount of time, so if you could keep your answers to either a yes or a no, that will allow us to get through as many as possible, sir. From your perspective, is it more difficult now for the digital asset industry to access financial products and services in the United States than it was, say, 2 years ago?
Sir, I'm not running one of those businesses. If they came into compliance, I think
Reclaiming my time. The answer, sir, is yes. Do you think you and the SEC have had a role to play in that?
I think we have a role to protect the American investor and the capital markets. And
Reclaiming my time, sir. You have played an obvious role in that. During your tenure at the SEC, how many rules has the SEC finalized that actually accommodate the existing regulatory framework and are specifically to the digital asset industry so the crypto market can come into compliance?
It's our rule books that are on the books for years, so we have not finalized any new rule specifically with regard to crypto. We've proposed some things in best execution. We've also...
Sir, reclaiming my time, the answer is zero. And how many enforcement actions has the SEC levied against digital asset companies during your tenure, sir?
I think it's probably 40 or 50.
The answer, sir, is about 55. My understanding is that the biggest crypto failure in history is probably FTX at $9 billion. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yes.
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. And arguably, the second biggest crypto failure in history was Terra Luna. Who was the chairman of the SEC when Terra Luna collapsed, sir?
We had brought...
You were, sir. Reclaiming my time, you were. There are 5 members on the commission. Do you believe your speeches and interviews are to serve as the official position of the SEC?
I can only speak for myself when I'm speaking.
Again, sir, in a statement on the SEC website, you are quoted saying, the Kraken staking as a service enforcement action should make clear to the marketplace that staking as a service providers must register. But again, you haven't provided any rules for how that can be done. I must remind you, your public statements are not regulations. It's not responsible to expect the American people to assume your statements are a substitute for rules. Do you agree with this statement regarding the digital asset industry? The SEC needs additional congressional authorities to prevent transactions, products, and platforms from falling between the regulatory cracks.
I think that it's a largely non-compliant field. And
sir, again, I asked you to comply with my questions, and I'm asking you if you agree with that quote. And I'm going to tell you, I'm quoting you from an August 3rd, 2021 article where you, and I believe you told Congressman Hill earlier that you need congressional authority to regulate stablecoins, and stablecoins happen to be a significant percentage of the crypto market. So the question is, when were you telling the truth? To Mr. Hill or to me? You've got to start answering these questions in a more transparent manner, sir. Does it concern you, by the way, that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
We're trying to drive it to compliance, and if they're not complying with the laws, then they shouldn't be offering their products.
Reclaiming my time. Madam Chair, I would like to enter into the record this Wall Street Journal article from April 14th, 2023, detailing China's ploy to open its banking system to crypto firms in an effort to seize an opportunity created by our hostile regulatory environment, which, Mr. Chair, you're a big part of.
Without objection.
Chair Gensler, FTX was domiciled abroad and so is Binance, yet American consumers still had access to both. You can't really think that pushing this industry abroad is going to protect American consumers when it hasn't several times in the past on your watch. You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP. Your intention to work against SEC mission and put American investors in harm's way has been made very apparent, sir. It's been a year and a half since you've appeared before this committee. You need to answer to Congress about the issues that you've had with the SEC staff union, the work environment you've cultivated at the SEC that's led to hemorrhaging of senior staff, the intellectual inconsistency of your regulatory treatment towards Bitcoin spot ETFs, and your politicization of capital formation opportunities through your treatment of certain SPACs. And that's just to name a few.
Wasn't that satisfying? That was great, right? But we got some serious things to talk about as well. Coinbase, like, you can't operate in the States no more. They're just making it too hard, right? They got a Wells notice telling them they're selling securities. They can get fined, whatever. It's like unreal. They can't operate here. Unless things change fast, they're going to have to move. And the UK, it's looking good because European Union lawmakers are set to vote on markets and crypto assets bill tomorrow, which will bring the industry under regulatory oversight and aims to restore trust after high-profile collapses. MiCA will require, or MiCA, I don't know how you want to pronounce that, will require companies to disclose conflicts of interest and not use client funds if passed by Parliament tomorrow. MiCA will receive final approval from the European Council in May before being officially published. Wow. So we got places like the UK wanting to be the crypto hubs of the world. Great news, right? El Salvador, same thing. And there's a few other places. This is just great news. Now here's the source article for this. It goes more into detail about timelines and things like that. And it even shows you officials that are against it but will vote for it just for the safety of it being in place. But we got to change their minds. There's a lot of people that don't understand crypto. And they're kind of like out of touch with it, out of date. They just don't have the knowledge. We have to give them the knowledge. That way they can like flip it in their head and we can have more people in power that get it and understand what's going on. Knowledge is power, right? So take a look at that and take a look at this. This is the man right here. I think I speak on behalf of most ranchers when I say, stay the fuck away from our cattle and livestock. This is Charles Hoskinson, people. And he's talking to Bill Gates. If you don't know who Bill Gates is, I suggest you look him up on Rumble or Odyssey Library, because you won't find anything negative about him on YouTube, just here and there, because he owns YouTube, because he owns The Who. And the YouTube runs on The Who's guidelines. Yeah, so you can't really find bad stuff or the right information you're looking for. Go to Rumble or Library. All right, so I'll leave links to all this. You can take a look at the article here of what Bill Gates is doing. He's done so many criminal things. Oh my goodness. He actually has his Moderna vaccine in the food supply now so that it's automatically vaccinating people when they consume it. That's against all kinds of human rights. I didn't ask for that. It's just, and even with all the facts coming out about these vaccines and COVID, all the truths coming out, all the censorship being exposed, all the canceling being exposed, these people were the ones doing it. They were the ones hiding the information. They didn't want you to see all that. And now they're forcing you to do all this stuff through food? Wow. So you can see why Charles Hoskinson might be a little pissed. This article is not about that. It's about something else. But it's on point. Bill Gates needs to get his nose out of the world's business. Nobody voted him in power. All right, so last thing. Cardano flourishes in Q1 2023. Messari crypto report highlights impressive growth. Big stuff, right? Cardano just always moving, always growing, always adapting. Cardano has experienced a remarkable growth spurt in Q1 2023. The flourishing blockchain platform saw substantial increases in various financial and ecosystem metrics, including a nearly tripled total value locked in decentralized finance, DeFi. This growth is attributed to increased dApp transactions and the adoption of new stablecoins in the ecosystem. That's right. The report also emphasizes Cardano's significant technical advancements in the areas of scalability and virtual machine compatibility. Several layer 2 scaling solutions have debuted on the mainnet. Meanwhile, sidechains such as Milkometa C1 and IOG's EVM sidechain continue to be developed, increasing compatibility. These sidechains help streamline the integration of developers from other platforms, removing the learning curve for those unaccustomed to Cardano's EU TXO accounting model, which is pretty much Bitcoin on steroids, everybody. In addition to sidechains, Cardano has made strides in expanding its programming language support, aiming to attract more developers. The platform now offers developer tooling for popular languages such as Python and TypeScript, as well as domain-specific languages like Marlow and Helios. The support for these languages opens doors for both new and existing developers, making it easier for them to build on the Cardano ecosystem. Cardano's impressive Q1 growth demonstrates the platform's commitment to innovation and expansion in the blockchain industry. With its focus on scalability, VM compatibility, and diverse programming language support, Cardano is positioning itself as a strong contender in the rapidly evolving world of decentralized finance and blockchain technology. That's right. And it didn't even mention Hydra or Midnight. Midnight is a private blockchain, private on Cardano. Crazy, right? That's like the innovation of Cardano just keeps coming and coming and coming. And Hydra potentially will give you like 1 million transactions per second. Hydra is a sidechain where you can do multiple transactions off of the Cardano blockchain, where you can like take the load off of it, do as many transactions as you want. And this is designed to do business between people that usually do transactions with each other. So they can take the load off the chain, do it on the side on Hydra, as many transactions as you want, close it, and the final settlements done on the sidechain come back onto the Cardano blockchain in your wallets. So that's how that works. Potentially giving you up to like 1 million transactions per second. And you got Midnight, which is a private blockchain for Cardano. Great things, right? So much stuff happening for Cardano. And with the leadership like this, making statements like this, you can see he's on the right page. All right, everybody. This is the crypto realm. Play hard, trade smart. Hello, fellow adventurers. Are you tired of lugging around those big, heavy, and noisy generators on your camping trips? Well, you're in luck. The Bluetti generator is here to make your life easier and your camping experience more enjoyable. Let me tell you, these generators are game changers. They're ultra portable and lightweight, making them perfect for taking on the go. And don't be fooled by their small size. These little guys pack a powerful punch. You can power up your devices, lights, and even small appliances like blenders or coffee makers, all with ease. But here's the best part. The Bluetti generators are super quiet. That's right, no more noisy interruptions to your peaceful camping experience. You can power up your gadgets without disturbing the peace and quiet of the great outdoors. And the utility of these generators doesn't stop there. They're also great for emergency backup power during power outages or natural disasters. Keep your lights on and your devices charged, no matter what life throws your way. So why settle for those clunky, noisy, and heavy generators when you can have a portable and powerful solution that makes your camping life easy? In our pinned comments, you will find a link to Bluetti. Check them out today.